Hi, this is my review of the Candy CCVB60 30cm built-in wine cooler. The wine cooler comes in a stainless steel colour, has a height-wise between 820mm and 890mm, so obviously there's quite a good scope there in terms of your heights of your worktops when it's built in. It has a depth which is a standard depth of 590mm, so again should be fairly simple for your standard fitted kitchen appliances. It comes with 5 shelves, a lock, 20 litre capacity, adjustable feet and a front vent, a temperature range from 4 degrees Celsius to 18 degrees Celsius, an internal light, an LED display, and is an energy efficiency rated C. Now if I take you for a closer look up at the wine cooler, the first thing to notice is the LED display. Now I am crouched down quite a lot to actually see the display, and I can only just see it now. It reads 13 degrees, and as you can see the fan is currently going, the symbol shown just here. Now I'm not sure if you can hear this, but actually the fan is extremely loud. I'll just let you see if you can hear it for a second. Now what that fan does, it will kick in and out from time to time to either bring the temperature down or keep it stable depending on what temperature you've had it. To change the temperature, it's relatively easy. You just open the door, click on the set button, the temperature will then start saying temperature set. You can then move it up and down accordingly to whatever temperature you wish, raising it up to 14 degrees C for wines like red wine, or down to as low as 4 degrees C for white wine. What will happen then is the fan will keep kicking in until it gets to the required temperature. The wine cooler also has a handy light which is turned on just by simply pressing the on button. One thing I would say is it looks absolutely fabulous when the light's on. However, the light doesn't stay on forever. It does have a self shut off mechanism, so it will turn itself off after a while. But whilst you've got wine in there and you maybe got friends and family, you may want to wow them by putting the light on. In terms of the capacity, it's got 20 litres capacity. Now what does that mean? Now it does have 5 shelves. 5 shelves that roughly hold around 15 bottles of wine depending on the size. The good thing with the shelves is they are flexible, so depending if you've got a bigger bottle of wine, it'll actually move itself up slightly to accommodate that. On average though, it can hold 3 bottles of wine per shelf. Also it's handy for the 440ml cans as well, which roughly it can hold around 30 cans in there. If you was looking for it to store the smaller cans of 330 litres, on average I've worked out that it could probably hold about 9 per shelf, which works out to be around 50 cans there or thereabouts. It does have actually a handy bottom shelf, which although I haven't classed as a shelf, has a small area which could just hold the 330 cans, probably around 5 or 6 of them. But it's worth noting again, just in case you want your children's pop in there, or maybe just some soft drinks for others that may be not drinking. If I close the door again, right at the bottom you'll see that there's an actual spot for key. Now 2 keys do come with it, which is quite handy, both for if you have expensive bottles of wine in there and you want to keep it shut, but equally for children as well. You can obviously lock it when it's not in use, and that way then you know that the little ones are not going to get their hands on any of your prized possessions. Just to give you an idea of the lock, I've just locked it now. The 2 keys that come with it look like this. You simply pop them in, turn the lock, and then it opens again. So quite simple to do, but also quite effective. Now one thing to notice is that it is very sturdy. It's made of a good build, and it really does feel like it's going to be lasting for a while. It also looks very modern, sort of fits in with most kitchens, and it's very easy to install. All you need to do when it arrives is just simply flick off the sort of suction on the side. It just clips off. Screw in 2 screws to actually attach the actual handlebar, and then you're good to go. Now in terms of the kitchen, you'll have to excuse me because we are in the middle of decorating, but we've just actually fitted it internally, and we're just waiting for the remainder, obviously, cupboard to be fitted. but that sees how it sort of looks on a work surface. So it really does seem to fit in quite well. Again, as mentioned, the blue light will go off after some time. It's around about 3 or 4 minutes. Again, just to recap, some of the positive things for me is that it does really look stylish and really matches in with the kitchens. It's very sturdy, it's very easy to set up. In my opinion, it holds quite a lot of bottles of wine, 15, but also can double up as something like a can refrigerator in the summers if you're not a big wine drinker, so don't let the fact that it's a wine cooler put you off. It's also got a nice handy bottom shelf, maybe for some children's drinks. A lock, which can be obviously easily locked and made sure that no one can get their hands on it. Again, probably the most disappointing thing for me is probably the noise. It is extremely noisy. Now, I'm not sure if my actual video will pick up the noise, but when the fan does kick in, it does feel like it's quite noisy. A lot more noisy than your standard hum of a fridge freezer of some sort. That's probably the biggest disappointment for me, but other than that, I do really like it. So that's my review of the Candy CCVB60 30cm built-in wine cooler.